Now, a Turkish legal firm has filed a criminal complaint against the country's law enforcement and intelligence agencies. It's after the German broadcaster ARD aired a documentary alleging that ISIL is conducting a slave trade via an office in Turkey. It involves women and children from the Yazidi Kurdish minority who were kidnapped in Syria.
We decided to file a complaint after the allegations made on German ARD TV, which they shared on social media. They alleged that Yazidi people were traded by ISIS in a slave market here in Gaziantep. The prosecution must investigate this. If there's evidence and suspects, they must be caught and tried. If there's neglect of duty on the side of the security forces or intelligence, they must be punished.
The documentary aired on German TV follows a Kurdish man who acts as a mediator, buying slaves back from ISIL and returning them to their families. The man contacts the terror group on the internet, negotiates a price and then travels to Turkey to complete the deal. He then heads to the city of Gaziantep, 40 kilometers from the Syrian border. He's shown visiting the alleged ISIL slave trade office. In the film, the man claims he's paid ISIL $2.5 million in the past year to return women and children to their families. Now, the question of ISIL fighters moving freely and openly operating in the Turkish town of Gaziantep has now been raised by Turkish members of parliament.
During our observations here, we have shared with the Turkish public that ISIL is moving freely in Gaziantep and that the city has become a support line for them. The presence of thugs coming from all over the world who are able to cross there from here and vice versa, and having the courage to tell the Turkish soldiers that they want to join ISIL, means that they have hundreds of contacts here. We reiterate our calls to the authorities that measures have to be taken. In their subconsciousness, the authorities still do not regard ISIL as a terrorist organization and their members as terrorists.
Now, this is one of the videos that's emerged online, apparently showing kidnapped Yazidi women being abducted, often forcefully, by ISIL terrorists. Some of those ended up in the hands of the militants or sold through slave markets. Others become the jihadists' own sex slaves. Only a few lucky ones managed to escape. One Yazidi woman that did recently told her story at the United Nations.
The Islamic State did not just come to kill our women and girls, but they took us as war booty. One of these people came up to me. He wanted to take me. I looked down at the floor. I was absolutely petrified. He forced me to serve as part of his military faction. He humiliated me every day. I implore you, get rid of Daesh completely so that women and children can live in peace everywhere. Everywhere, all these crimes must be brought to an end today. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
It's estimated up to 5,000 Yazidi women and girls could be held by ISIL as sex slaves. The exact number isn't known, as some women flee and others are bought back by their families. While in captivity, the women are often traded between fighters. Girls as young as 8 are said to be raped by the jihadists. The testimonies of some of the women freed from ISIL were recorded in RT's documentary, Victims of ISIS. You can watch the full film in your own time at rt.com.
يا هفتا يا هشتاد يا هنها زلامك 20 سالي 25 سالي 6 سالي 5 سالي يعني يده سالي اغتصاب كنا كاتكيها يعني دستيش داندي يعني تشتغل ديز دانابو وش ما عجوبه
اب ريح بونو وبور بونو قالك إسلام جي ترسا شكليوان كنتن كواهون بسلمان ببن كواهون ميوا كوجن كو منافع أم بسلمان ببن أم در كفن بزور عمش داكوين ما قد كنن قلنا ما فنا كنتن كوانا حقيقي غير هون شيف خنو ودي ساينا بالو هبدينا هيلان ببينا
زور وجابر مكرو يعني تعدل مكراري ولا سكالك يعني أصبر خاكتم بشتين جيومو أمي تبغى كم تافيشير نمشلوك نشتامي تادنا كوشكا شخصاري المبي يعني تبل مرادات أكريك.
Ankara denies allegations that it turns a blind eye to ISIL's activities on the border with Syria. We asked Turkey's representative of the Yazidi Association in Europe about the revelations made in the German documentary.
Gaziantep is today a place where humans are sold. It's like a market. We know that IS members can pass very easily the border. They use the same routes, how they get in and out from Turkey to Syria or to Iraq, to bring also these women and children via this way. Although we cannot say that Turkey is directly involved in the issues, by allowing IS members to get in very easily, we can say in an indirect way they are also supporting IS.